Merry Christmas, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of Watching the Intros to Bad Chinese Horror Movies. I'm your host, the Hardy Dance. This is a series where we look at the first couple of minutes of some very bad Chinese horror movies, and then we have a little bit of a chat about them. Now, in tonight's episode, I've got nothing Christmassy for you, because that's just China, they don't do Christmassy stuff. But I have 5 episodes, 5 videos for you, providing that they survive the copyright issues. So, they are number 82 Haunted House, Ghost Hospital, Snowy Night, which sounds like it could have a Christmas theme for you northerners, but for us down here in Australia, there's no snow in Christmas. We've got one called The Frightened Studio, which is a long clip, so settle in for that one. And then we're going to finish it off with 7 Fright Nights, another horror movie that seems to pop up every now and then in the that Chinese horror movie circuit. So let's not waste any time. Let's go straight into the very first one. It's a very short clip for 82 Haunted House. Well, I didn't lie, did I? That was ridiculously short. That's a movie called Number 82 Haunted House. That came out about 2 years ago, riding off the popularity of The House That Never Dies, which is the number 81 house. So, like normal with Chinese movie producers, once someone makes something that's popular, they just go and make 1,000 clones of it. And that's the particular one there. You would have noticed that the costumes were that very oldie Republic of China kind of costumes, so certainly set before the whole CCP came into power. Your typical little red dress ghost and the nice that happens at the start. Now, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't comment on it at all. Certainly from that intro, you don't get much, and maybe it's not worth us dwelling over too much. What do you reckon? Probably not. Would you watch it though? Just based on that? If that was the only thing that you'd ever seen about this movie, not even a trailer, say that was it, would that be enough to go, yeah, I'd want to watch it? Me? Yeah, because I'm stupid and I like to watch crap like that. So yeah, I probably would. All right, let's get into the intro to a movie that I have seen. This is called Ghost Hospital, or as you'll see when the title comes up, something very French. Let's check it out. That mask. My God, that mask. The very psycho style violin music at the end. Clearly not a violin, clearly it's done on a keyboard. But, nice. So, I've seen this film, and I actually quite enjoy it, based on that intro that you've seen there. You probably think, it's just a standard horror movie. It's actually a bit of a thriller. think Panic Room style movie. And well, it's not a horror film. I think we all know that. It turns into a thriller. What I like is just how silly the main character is. And that sounds like a contradiction. Why would I like a movie where the main character is silly? Well, let me explain. In the movie, you see the lady there. In the movie, she has a kid. And she's a single mother. And she is quite wealthy because she owns this company that's made a bit of money. And she's dating this guy who she believes is the bee's knees best guy in the world. And she needs to go to hospital. And so she goes to this hospital, something to do with her kid. I think it's taking the kid to the hospital or her to the hospital. So someone has to go to the hospital for something. And she notices that there's a bit of strange things going on in this hospital. And they're trying to capture her and hold her there. What I find hilarious about the movie is that there's halfway through she just abandons her child and doesn't even think to pick her up and rescue her. She's so enamored by this guy and thinks this guy is the best thing that's happened to her that she completely disregards her child. Now, I'm going to spoil the movie for you because you're probably not going to watch it, and you probably won't even be very difficult to find anyway, because there are two Asian horror movies called Ghost Hospital. There is also a Vietnamese movie with the same name, made in the same year. And so most people, when they find Ghost Hospital, actually find the Vietnamese film, and they don't actually find this film. And the Vietnamese one's pretty crap too. I had to check it out, and it's not a good film either. In this film, like I said, spoiler, the guy, the boyfriend, is actually trying to get her money. So with the help of a couple of other people, they kind of trap this woman in an abandoned hospital. This hospital's about to be either decommissioned or set to be knocked down the next day. Yeah, everything's still kind of... There's still all this stuff happening in the hospital. And you kind of pick it up later on that there doesn't seem to be too many people in the hospital, but everything still seems to be in place. And the hospital looks a bit shitty. It's some of the details you will pick up when you watch the film. But these people have kind of tried to stage the running of a hospital to essentially try to get her to sign over her fortune to the boyfriend. And then this guy comes to the rescue at the end. It's quite Chinese. Put it that way. Ghost Hospital. But there are moments in it that are actually quite good, bar that mask that you saw at the end. And like I said, if you like the movie Panic Room, then you'll see a bit of similarities in this film too. Now let's get on to the next one. This is called Snowy Night. And I'm pretty sure I haven't seen this, but watching the intro might jog my memory. So let's get into it. So I don't recall actually watching that film. But there's a bit there to kind of look at. First, it's a bit weird. So, this is from 2016, so just before the second big crackdown from the Chinese government on horror films. So there's probably the potential that this one is a little bloody and a little slashery. I haven't actually seen it, so I might actually make some time to go watch this film because there's some, like I said, there's a bit of potential there, and there seemed to be a montage in the latter half of that clip of bits that happen throughout the film. It certainly shows that there is some kind of stalker thriller element to it. Now, I thought it was funny to have that chanting over the top with the what appeared to be a Bible verse being subtitled on the screen. Did you notice, if you were astute enough, that the font changed? The English font changed between captions. You might have to rewind the video back to have a look at it, but there's definitely a font change from this nice kind of serif type font to just something that looked like Arial. I don't know much about that film, as I said, and on the list of Chinese horror movies that I keep, for some reason that movie doesn't appear on that list. So I don't know how I have the clip to it, but I don't actually have it listed on any of my lists that I have. I like the fact that the guy has a meat hook and that he's stalking the woman in the snow wearing a balaclava. Makes me think that whoever the killer is, the stalker is human-based. Clearly, Chinese horror, human-based. But I don't get any sense of what that movie could be about. Other than it's set in the snow, and perhaps all this shit happens on a snowy night. Could be. Maybe they've given that clue away in the title. Would you watch it? Based on that intro, based on what we saw there, whoops, almost knocked my water over. Based on what we saw there, I'd be tempted to kind of watch that one. So I might, like I said, I might find some time and try and watch that whole film and see what it's actually about. This is the good thing about this. Not only am I watching clips of movies that I have seen, but I'm watching ones that I haven't seen and thought, I might give that a try. Anyway, let's get on to the next one. Now, this is a long one, so settle in. This is for The Frightened Studio. I got this movie off YouTube, so you can find this movie off YouTube if you want. Shh, don't say anything. So let's check out the very long clip. It's, according to my timeline, 7 minutes. Whether the full 7 minutes make it in the final cut, I don't know. But yeah, let's settle in and watch it.
我是陆峰，是一个雕塑家，我很眼里的艺术家。我来过，活过，爱过。现实还是迷幻，有时候让我们分不清，因为爱情常常让我们疯狂，随风飘荡，随风飘散，像一场被惊醒的诡异的梦魇一般，压在我的胸口，令人窒息。在我的生命中，曾经出现过2个女孩，欧阳倩、欧阳雪，一对孪生姐妹。她们像天使一般降临到我的生活当中，为我歌唱，为我绽放，使我深深地迷醉在浪漫、甜蜜的花香之上。 我爱着他，也爱着他。雪和茜，他们好像是同一个人，我无法区分。她们是孪生姐妹，一个是姐姐欧阳雪，一个是妹妹欧阳茜。曾经，她带着天使一般的气息闯进了我的生活，仿佛安逸的火光。我跟随着她的脚步，捕捉着她的身影。她的欢乐便是我的欢乐，她的惆怅便是我的惆怅。我们彼此是那么的美好，那么的相爱。然而，这一切都变成了一个记忆的幻影。那是你们角色，那场挥不去的梦魇，日复一日，年复一年。
I'm really sorry about that. That was boring. Really, really boring. 7.5 minutes of utter boredom. Now, there's a good chance by the time I've put this clip together for you to watch that I've sped that clip up by 2 times so that you can get through that a lot quicker. Because trust me, I don't think I want to put you through 7.5 minutes of boredom. The good thing about speeding it up, it's probably made it a lot more entertaining than it is at normal speed. Now, there are a couple of very big things about that clip. Firstly, you would have seen an English title in it called Incubus. So I don't know about that. I don't know why it's got a different title. But if you want to look for this movie on YouTube, it's called The Frightened Studio. It stars a girl I call Bug Eyes. Now, you would have seen her towards the end. She was the one cutting the cake and the one that wakes, that's at the end where he wakes up from his dream. She's in the next clip. She is one of the Chinese horror scream queens who's in quite a lot of really bad Chinese horror movies. I don't think she's actually ever been in a really good one. You might have remember her from last week's clip of supernatural events on campus. She was in that. And she's, like I said, she's in the next one. But this might not have come across because I sped up the video, but the clip was taken from YouTube. And you would have noticed it was extremely silent all the way through. There's a reason for that. The whoever's uploaded the video has obviously wanted to make money on it. And that video clip looks like it was hit with multiple copyright violations for music. Chinese film producers are just kind of blasé about taking music and just throwing it into their movies. They don't really, unless they know that they're going for a big international release, some little low budgety thing like this isn't going to be cleared for all the music tracks they've used. So what the uploader for this one done, most likely Youku, has instead of replacing that music was replacing it with music so that it can at least get you in the mood for it. They've cut out all the music completely, and with the rest of the music, they've used a tool in YouTube that allows you to remove the music but leave the dialogue in place. So you would have noticed every now and then with a piece of dialogue there would have been a note or two of music. Also, some of the dialogue sounded like the guy was talking underwater. Again, might not be clear because I've sped it up, but that's why that clip's so boring. It has no atmosphere because the music's been taken out. I would never watch that film. Ever. I don't even know why I put it in this. That's a good question. Why did I put it in here? Let's get on to the last clip of the evening. And it is for a horrible, horrible movie called Seven Fright Nights. Let's check it out.
这个房子呢，已经有好久没人住了，请你们过来住7天，就是增加点人气。这楼上有2个房间，楼下有1个，储物间在地下室，但是不能进去。1楼不能开灯，这个清油灯千万不能灭，香火不能断。
的工资1人1万，一共4万。
我这边呢有8000块钱定金，7天之后我从香港回来，再付清剩下的3万2。
No. I know what you're thinking. That didn't look too bad. No. It's bad. You would have seen that ghost at the end. Come on. This is shockingly bad. Now, that is the actual intro to the movie, which feels more like a movie trailer at the start of the film. The Seven Fright Nights, it feels like it should be a good film. So these 4 strangers, well, 2 of them aren't strangers. 2 of them are boyfriend and girlfriend, and the other 2 don't know each other, are tasked with a job from this guy of staying in this villa that he owns for a week while he's in Hong Kong. As he said, to make it appear more lively. There's a reason for that. He also gives them this whole bunch of bullshit rules, which really by the end just don't make any sense why they would need to do any of that. That's essentially just for the movie plot, just to give you some sense of, oh my God, there's some kind of tension in it for them that they have to do it. There's also a bit where they document their trip or their stay on a camera. So one of the very first, because this movie's 8-9 years old, the very first type of movies where they're just documenting things on camera. Good old Bug Eyes is in that, and she really bugs her eyes out as worse as she's ever done. And in fact, there's this sex scene between her and one of the guys there that all I could think of was, dude, don't ever put your dick in crazy, because she turns nuts towards the end of the film. And so what happened is they're going to get paid 10,000 RMB, which is quite a lot of money. Think about it. In Australian, that's just over $2,000 Australian. That's not bad for a week, especially considering when this movie was made. Getting $2,000 to babysit a house, that's not bad. But they'll get paid if they can survive the whole week at the house. And then there's all these artificial scares that are added in there. And you actually find out that the previous owner of the house is trying to scare the people in it because there's something in the basement that they're not allowed to go into that he wants to get, because there's a reference back to his wife and how he lost the house with a bad business deal and led to some deaths or some bullshit. I really can't remember. It was a fucking terrible film. Really was a terrible film. And there's this bit where he looks through the fridge and there's human bones in the fridge, and they're clearly just plastic bones. There's no effort to make anything look realistic in the film. It's just a bad film all around. And it pops up in so many places when it comes to Chinese horror films. It's that supernatural events on campus. Mei-Sing Chen, who's Bug-Eye Girl, she seems to have this kind of monopoly over when people watch Chinese horror movies and Western streaming sites. She seems to be the one that pops up everywhere. I feel sorry for anyone who decides to watch that film. Seven Fright Nights. Just avoid it like the plague. So we've looked at 5 clips. We looked at one of them in fast forward because it was boring as batshit. Which one of those do you think you would want to watch in full? Now, I would recommend out of tonight's lot, Ghost Hospital, because I've only seen 2 of the 5 episodes that we looked at, and of the 2 that I've seen, that is the better one of the 2. And of course, I think Snowy Night kind of had potential. Maybe a fun one to watch. I did say I would want to watch it, so maybe I will try and watch it. But what about you? Which one of those do you think you would want to watch? Thank you again for joining in for episode 7 of this crazy little series we're going through. We still have a lot more clips to get through, and I look forward to starting to show you some of the bigger Chinese movies that have come out. The Bunshin Sabers and the Bunshin Saber versus Sadako films. You can check out the intros today. They are a lot of fun. Otherwise, press like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber and you want to. Otherwise, catch you next time. Check out another video on the channel. I look at a lot of Chinese horror films, so this is a bit of a niche for me. But anyway, have a good one. Merry Christmas, and I'll catch you next time.